Hello, my fellow Hetalians, and welcome back to Hetafax. Today, I'm going to be doing something different. All of you know how much I love cringy fanfiction. And, of course, you all know that I love Hetalia. So, maybe I should do something that combines the two. Anyways, we're reading some cringy Hetalia fanfiction. Let's go. Chapter 1. The First Day. Apparently there's 21 chapters in this. Fratello, aren't you nervous about tomorrow? Feliciano asked his elder twin. Oh, well, they're not twins, but I'll let it slide. I'll let it slide today. No, I don't give a damn about it. It's just school. Don't be such a crybaby about it. After all, it's our last year of high school, said Romano from the kitchen, whilst standing in front of a giant pot of boiling water. They may have been twins, but they were polar opposites. Romano was the more angrier and aggressive twin, while Feliciano was the more carefree and wimpier one. The only physical differences were that they had curls on the sides of their heads. Feliciano's was on the left and Romano's was on the right. I think we all know what they look like. Hey, we're gonna be the new guys. Doesn't it make you nervous? Romano sighed and stopped. Wait, I just realized that Italy Venetiano is called Feliciano, and Romano is stuck with Romano. While I would gripe about this, Romano is actually more accurate when it comes to an Italian name than Lavino, so I'll let this one slide. Romano sighed and stopped what he was doing in the kitchen to go over and sit by his brother. I know you're afraid of being accepted, but your personality makes it easy for people to like you, so stop being fucking afraid, okay? Romano looked at his brother. He rarely make any nice comments or be nice, so he felt fortunate for being one of the few who could watch him showing his real self. Thanks, Romano. That's very nice of you. Now, let me help you with dinner. Romano's face was tinted with a light blush, and he said, It's not like I'm being nice to you, idiot. I'm just said the truth. Oh, someone tsundere. Romano followed Feliciano into the kitchen, where they started to finish their cooking. When they were nearly done, they heard the front door of their massive house open. I'm home, a voice sounded from the corridor. Hey, Grandpa Arsenios! Welcome home! I'm surprised I was able to pronounce that on the first try. Feliciano fled from the kitchen to go run up to his grandpa to hug him. For his age, Arsenius was a man who was hot, tall, a brunette, manly, strong, and incredibly good-looking. Aside from that, he was an open-hearted man who took care of his two cute grandsons. Calling them cute made Feliciano happy but made Romano somewhat annoyed. The three men lived in a fancy old house which was restored by Arsenius, who was into architecture. It was their grandpa's decision to leave Italy so the boys could get to know a little more about the world. But he still yearned for his homeland, so decided to decorate the whole house Italian style. It made Arsenius feel at home rather than being so distant from Italy. Thanks, Feliciano, thanked the elder man, who was momentarily taking out a breath. Are you guys ready for tomorrow? The words took the cheerfulness away from the boy. Arsenius noticed this, and said with a warm smile that made Feliciano more calm. You don't need to worry, little man. You'll see everything is going to be fine. Dinner's ready, yelled Romano from the kitchen, interrupting the moment. Won't you greet your grandpa too, Romano? Asked Arsenius. Romano just groaned, trudged towards Arsenius, and gave him a kiss on the cheek like all Italians do. That is quite out of character for Romano. Romano would just be like, Yes, Grandpa noticed me! The three sat looking at their rather large dining table that had been set up by Romano. I'm so hungry. This looks delicious. Thank you, kids, said Arsenius, who sat at the head of the table as they began to eat. Ubu. I'm not kidding, that is in there. The next day, the Vargas grandfather dropped them off at their new school. Okay guys, have fun. I'll pick you up later today, alright? Then Arsenius left, leaving the twins at the entrance of the academy. They were late, not just because of them, but because their grandpa also had this bad habit. So it would be harder for them to find where their first class was. Romano took his brother by the hand and led him inside. Once they got into the principal's office, the kind man offered himself to take to their classes. You must be new students. I'm Tolis. Fuck you, I'm not saying it. Tolis Laurenitis, your tutor. If you need anything, you can find me next to the principal's office. Oh, he's just a teacher in this. But I'm glad you include Lithuania. Thank you, author. The man was an average height, brunette with bright, ambitious green eyes. Yay, they got his eye color right! I'm Veritiano Vargas, and this is my brother Romano. We're late for class and we don't know where our classrooms are. Could you maybe help us out, please? Of course, kids, I understand this is your first day. But don't let it happen again. Unfortunately, your classes aren't together. But I guess you'll meet more new people that way, right? Romano just shrugged, but Feliciano got more anxious. Okay, here's your classroom, Romano. You have alternate language class with Mr. Fernandez. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! They came to a stop at the door, which would happen to be Romano's classroom. Romano entered his classroom, waving goodbye to his younger brother and the older man. I think technically Italy's are older than Lithuania physically, because physically Lithuania is only 19. Before the door closed, Feliciano could see that the teacher was a very young and good-looking man. Oh boy. He was a tall brunette with slightly tanned skin and a tomato on his desk. He wasn't like any teacher he had seen before. He was a sexy teacher. Feliciano and Tolis walked through the halls until they arrived at their destination. Well, Feliciano, looks like I leave you here. We've got literature with Tino Vainamoinen. Most of the people called him by his first name, seeing his last name's a little bit difficult to pronounce. Okay, thanks for the help! Taurus walked away and left Feliciano by himself. He took a deep breath and opened the door. As Feliciano walked through the door, everybody turned to look at him, making him even more nervous. Hello there, you're the new student, right? I'm Tino. If you may, please introduce yourself before we begin class, began the teacher. He was a young blonde man with bright, energetic violet eyes. Why me? Thought Feliciano before he said, Hi, I'm Feliciano Vargas, and I come from Italy. Being a foreign student raised attention to him. There were more foreign students on the school, but none Italian. What about your brother? Welcome, Feliciano. Have a seat in that empty space in the back. Of course it's gonna be in the back. Okay, thanks, said Feliciano as he made his way through the crowd of desks. Please stop staring at me, thought Feliciano as all the students' eyes gazed at him. Even if he liked it or not, Feliciano was attractive. Girls are always attracted to his features and accent. Well, yeah. That's Italy's dream! You made him his dream! Also, I bet you, right here, in this paragraph, this is going to be the point where he meets Germany. I just know. He turned to his left to see a boy about his age with short black hair. He looked somewhat Asian. Somewhat Asian? Okay, I'm gonna assume that this is Japan. I'm pretty sure Japan is more than somewhat Asian. I'm pretty sure he's full flippin' Asian. Feliciano guessed Japanese. He liked the type not to bombard him with questions, so he decided to start up a little conversation. Hey, what's your name? In the middle of class. The Japanese boy turned to him and said, Hiro, I'm Kiko Honda. Nice to meet you. Feliciano got a better look at his face when he turned to him. He looked a little serious but very calm. Hi Kiko, sorry to bother you, but can you show me around school? I'm a little lost and I'm in need of a friend. A light pink color spread across Kiku's cheeks. Oh, sure, Feliciano. What do you have after this? Biology, gym, art, and math. Feliciano read off his schedule. It looks like most of our classes are the same, replied Kiku. Really? Said the Italian with a shine in his eyes. That's great, Kiku. I get to see you often. Kiku was taken aback by the cheerfulness of his classmates, but he still found him agreeable. Ooh-woo. After literature and biology, the boys had a break, so they head to the cafeteria. I'm hungry, Vee. I'm so glad there were leftovers from last night's dinner. You better not eat too much, Feliciano. We have gym next period, said Kiku as they sat down at the table. Why? But I love pasta. Feliciano was nearly crying at his new friend's statement. Oh, sorry, I did not mean to make you upset, exclaimed Kiku. It's just that Mr. Beilschmidt has a reputation for being harsh on freshmen. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Is this entire fan fiction full of student ex-teacher stuff? Oh my god. Who's Mr. Beilschmidt? Why would he do that? Is he scary? I already hate Chip for having an evil gym teacher do it. Kiku wasn't a fan of exercise either, but he tried to calm down his friend. Well, he isn't that. He's German. Excuse you? Racist. And good at sports. The only problem is that he likes to show off, so he enjoys putting weak guys through trouble whenever he can, explained Kiku in an attempt to calm Feliciano down, but it was a failure. I can only imagine how this is going to turn out in smut. No, I am one of those weak guys. I've never been good at sports. Kiku, what am I going to do? Cried Feliciano. Maybe we should hide. Yes, hide! Then we couldn't attend. Once Feliciano stopped babbling about ways to not do gym class, Kiku practically dragged him to gym class. Ooh woo. After the students got changed into their sports uniforms, a man with red eyes and platinum blonde hair that looked white from afar greeted them. Morning, kids! Oh, fuck me. I hate this voice. It's always nice to see new faces. I'm Gilbert Beilschmidt. And if you don't like gym class, then you'll leave this place hating it, exclaimed Mr. Beilschmidt. Oh, that Mr. Beilschmidt. Oh, I was thinking Germany. This makes things a lot less weird. He then gave some short sounds that went along the lines of Kiss. Mr. Beilschmidt was tall, thin, yet muscular man. He seemed very energetic and somewhat childish. Feliciano was trembling, and Kiku was trying to calm him, but was a bit scared of himself. No, guy, introduce yourself before we begin, said Mr. Beilschmidt as his red eyes glared into Feliciano's amber ones. How many times have I go through such torture? Somebody save me, please. Maybe I can run away while the other people introduce themselves. Feliciano's thoughts were interrupted by the sound of a loud whistle. Hey, you pretty boy, come here and present yourself now, ordered Mr. Beilschmidt.
Your sexual advances are not appealing. In fact, I'm starting to get the uh-oh feeling.
As he dropped the black whistle that hung from his neck. It seemed as if he didn't have time for time wasters. Pretty, he thought. I hate being described that way. It's embarrassing. Are you kidding me? Italy would love that shit. He would eat that shit up. Feliciano walked to the front of the class and stuttered, I'm Feliciano Vargas. He couldn't finish his sentence because Mr. Beilschmidt had cut him off. We have a little Italian in the crew. Oh yeah, I forgot. You're obsessed with Italians. This actually makes sense. How awesome. Welcome, buddy. Now go pick a partner to start some warm-ups and stretches with. Feliciano immediately ran to Kiku, who was glad to have Feliciano as a partner due to his limited social skills. It's so true. Ooh woo. After gym class, fourth period finally arrived. Feliciano was unexpectedly excited for this class. For this wasn't any other class. This was the class. The one that made it worth waking up so early in the morning for 5 days a week. Art class, that is. Yes, finally something accurate! You seem very excited, Feliciano, said Kiku with a slight smile. He liked this side of his friend. You just met him today. I love art, Kiku. It's my favorite class. When I graduate, I want to study art and become famous, exclaimed Feliciano, who had one of the biggest grins on his happy little face. Well, you would probably make it because you're you, but don't encourage people to be artists. They all starve to death eventually. I'm sure you will achieve your goal if you put effort into it, encouraged Kiku with a warm yet small smile on his face. He knows what happens to all the art majors. When they arrived in the classroom, they saw that the tables were arranged in groups of 4. Look, there's a free space, Kiku. Feliciano took his friend by the hand and dragged him to the table where they sat down. Feliciano noticed that Kiku was a little nervous. Then he saw another student getting up from his position on the table. It had appeared that he had been napping. Oh, sorry, we didn't see you there, apologized Feliciano. Oh, I see. It's more yaoi. The boy looked towards the two with a very calm, sleepy expression and introduced himself. Oh, hi there. You're the new guy, huh? I'm Heracles Carpusi. I was just taking a nap. Well, no shit. Hey, hello there, Heracles. I'm Feliciano Vargas. It's a pleasure to meet you. Okay, now you're okay with introducing yourself. Italian? Asked Heracles as Feliciano just nodded. I'm Greek. Hey, is that so? A shade of pink tinted Kiku's face as he mustered up some courage to greet Heracles. Hi, Heracles-san. You're making my Kokoro go all doki doki. The sleepy boy turned to Kiku and said, Hello, Kiku. I thought you were taking music class instead of art. Kiku blushed even more and replied, But I changed my mind at the last minute. Feliciano found it really difficult to hide his grin at the fact that his friend was clearly had something for this guy. Well, I'm glad, is what the Greek managed to say before falling asleep again. Kiku was partially grateful, because his ever-growing blush was sure to become somewhat noticeable. Kiku looked back at Feliciano, who winked and gave him a little smile. Ooh. Amazing! You're very talented, came a voice from behind Feliciano. He turned to see a beautiful girl with big green eyes and long brown hair. Hi, I'm Elisabetta. Hello, I'm Feliciano Vargas. That's Kiko Honda and that's Heracles Carpusi. Wait, I think she already knows all the other students in the class if you're the only new student, replied Feliciano as he pointed towards the Greek and the Japanese. It's nice to meet the three of you. Do you mind if I join you? I'm alone at that table and not inspired enough in my project yet, asked Elisabetta, her big green eyes gleaming with sadness. I want to paint pictures of yaoi. Sure, have a seat. The Italian motioned towards the free seat next to him. Thanks, she said as she sat down next to him. I'm really impressed by your work, Feliciano. Thank you, but I'm just an amateur. I agree with Elisabetta. Your paint is beautiful, added Kiku, who was glancing over his work with the paintbrush in hand. Heracles, who was miraculously awake, nodded in agreement. Feliciano was smiling wildly at this. There was nothing better than being recognized in something you actually like doing. Any of you got maths after this? Asked Elisabetta as she stuffed her schedule into her pocket. Yes, Feliciano and I have class with Mr. Beilschmidt, replied Kiku as both Elisabetta and Feliciano jumped from their seats. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Not again! I couldn't handle seeing him twice in a day, said the Italian with tears forming in his eyes. Elisabetta added, Don't tell tell me that idiot can give a math class? Not really, replied Kiku with a calm expression to his face. It's because Mr. Barschmidt has a younger brother who is now working in the school. He just recently. Oh, I see. I really hope he's not an ass like his stupid brother, sighed Elisabetta. Her rage for the idiot gym teacher was clearly showing. Oh. I hope he's not like his brother. He's scary, said Feliciano, wincing at the thought of a fearful gym teacher. I talked to Mr. Rarenitis earlier today about him, and he would highly recommend the younger Schmidt as a math teacher because he's not like his brother at all, explained Kiku. A little more calmed, Elisabetta said, You are very well informed, Kiku. That's right, thanks to Kiku, I was able to survive my first day here. Heracles looked straight into the Japanese man's eyes and said, He is a very good friend. Friend-zoned! Kiku froze in an instant and turned as red as a beetroot. Feliciano and Erzsébet, that's how her name should be, Erzsébet, shared glances and thought the same thing. This was going to be an interesting year. Ooh. End of chapter 1.